You know, it's kind of wild when you think back. Remember when the internet felt like totally the Wild West?
Oh, completely. Untamed, chaotic.
Yeah, like I definitely remember stumbling onto forums early days thinking, okay, anything goes here. Total chaos,
Yeah.
right? A genuinely lawless frontier feeling.
Right. Lawless frontier hives, for sure.
And then you get older and you realize, wait, parts of it still kind of are. But now people are building actual empires, seemingly out of thin air.
Or maybe thin air and like a really, really good ring light.
Totally, and a really compelling brand, yeah. So today we're taking you with us on this deep dive into something that's, I mean, it's gone from this whispered thing, right,
Yeah.
underground,
Yeah, like a rumor almost.
to this undeniable multi-billion-dollar force. And it's really reshaping how we think about, well, about work, about intimacy, performance even.
And connection, too.
Yeah.
How we connect in this digital age is fascinating, but also, let's be real, sometimes a bit uncomfortable to dissect.
For sure, but it's just gotten too big to ignore. So we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole intimacy hustle.
Exactly. And our mission here for this deep dive is really to unpack the complex reality of solo online content creation,
Right.
particularly in these digital spaces that are like designed to monetize personal connection, engagement, and yeah, often adult content.
We want to get past the headlines, you know, the clickbait.
Definitely move beyond the sensationalism, the quick judgments, the easy takes that you always see. Because what we found, digging into our sources, is this whole ecosystem. It's way more intricate.
Way more human.
So much more human than what you just see scrolling on the surface.
Honestly, this topic, it really hits different for me, and I think for you too, right? Because we basically grew up as the internet was taking shape.
Yeah, dial-up to broadband, we saw it all.
We saw those massive shifts firsthand, like the huge crackdowns on nudity or anything perceived as adult on platforms like Insta or Tumblr back in the day.
Oh, God, Tumblr, yeah.
Remember seeing whole communities just vanish overnight? Creators who'd spent years building followings just poof, deplatformed. No warning.
It was brutal. And it makes you wonder, like, what actually drives someone to put themselves out there like that? So personal, so vulnerable, often so explicit.
Especially when the rules keep changing constantly, when your whole livelihood feels that shaky.
What is the human story behind the screen?
That's the core question, isn't it? And it's right at the heart of what we're exploring today. So for this deep dive, just to be clear, we are absolutely not here for the clickbait.
No moral panic here.
None of that. Our whole purpose is to cut through all that noise, get to what's actually real, to understand the hustle, right? The performance art of it all.
And what it really means to, like, monetize a version of yourself in this digital space that's just constantly evolving.
It's labor, it's identity work, it's this whole new kind of controversial slice of the global economy.
Definitely. And to really get into that nuance, the human side, we've pulled from a pretty wide range of sources.
Yeah, we went deep. We're talking deep industry analyses, academic studies.
Right. But also direct creator testimonies, which are often really raw, and hard platform data too.
Our goal is just to bring you the real story. All the complexities, the hidden costs, not just the shiny, sensational version you see flying around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's unpack this fascinating and maybe sometimes unsettling landscape.
Yeah, let's dive right into what people are calling the digital gold rush. Because honestly, it kind of is a gold rush, isn't it?
In many ways, yeah.
This whole online content economy, especially with platforms like OnlyFans, ChatterBait, they've just exploded, gained this mainstream traction that, like, even 5 years ago, hard to imagine.
It really has. It's moved way beyond the fringes. It's kind of every day now.
It's fundamentally changed the game for creators, for how we consume content.
Totally. And OnlyFans is a key example, right? Launched 2016, Timothy Stokely, apparently a family business thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
And its core model is just super straightforward, content subscription. The genius is the simplicity. Creators set their own paywalls.
Anywhere from like $5 to $50 a month, usually.
Typically, yeah. Gives them direct control over that main income. Plus, they get tips, pay-per-view messages.
So it's very direct monetization, highly personalized potential there.
It's a real direct-to-consumer model.
Yeah.
Cuts out a lot of the old intermediaries.
But the platform still takes its cut, obviously. OnlyFans takes, what, 20%?
Yeah, 20% off the top. Which, you know, sounds like a chunk, but for providing the whole infrastructure, secure payments, access to millions.
It seems to work. It's clearly a model that's proven wildly successful for them, and for a lot of creators, too.
Then you've got ChatterBait on the other end, launched earlier, 2011. That's all about live-streamed webcam stuff.
Individuals, couples, often explicit performances, right?
Yeah, nudity, sexual activity, striptease, more involved scenes. The thing that makes Chatterbait different is that interactive token system.
Right, so viewers watch for free, often, but tip for specific acts, or to go private.
Exactly. And this is where it gets wild, the tech integration, like remote-controlled vibrators.
Synchronized to tips.
Yeah. Models sync them to tips, so users are literally paying to try and, make the model climax. It's not just watching.
Wow. That's interactive doesn't quite cover it. It's almost gamified intimacy.
Totally immersive, yeah. And the scale of these platforms, it just blows your mind. OnlyFans has, over 90 million registered users.
And $1 billion valuation. Billion with a B.
And Chatterbait's traffic is huge, too. Something like 117 million monthly visits.
Which breaks down to, what, 4.1 million unique visitors a month? Like 780,000 unique users a day?
Yeah, those kinds of numbers.
Yeah.
You just can't dismiss it as niche anymore. This is a massive economic force. Millions of lives touched by this.
You really can't look away. And what's really interesting is, like you said, these platforms are kind of bubbling under.
Building momentum, yeah.
But then specific things happened externally that just poured fuel on the fire. Catalysts.
Totally. Fueled the boom, turned them into cultural phenomena almost.
Oh, absolutely. I remember it so clearly. It started with that, what you called the social media exodus.
Right.
Suddenly, mainstream platforms, Insta, Tumblr, places where creators had built huge followings, they just started cracking down hard.
Super strict guidelines out of nowhere.
On nudity, anything vaguely explicit, deplatforming creators left and right, sometimes deleting whole accounts. It felt like a digital earthquake for so many.
A mass purge, yeah. And that crackdown basically created this huge market cap.
Yeah, millions of creators, artists, performers, suddenly digitally homeless.
And that's exactly where OnlyFans and similar sites just stepped right in. Perfect timing. Bridge that massive void.
Oh, this like under-the-table services, the DMs, the off-platform links.
Everything happening in the shadows, yeah. They brought it above board, formalized it, made it discoverable, accessible, monetizable.
Even with the platform cut, yeah, give it a structure.
And then, boom, the pandemic.
Man, COVID. That was the ultimate catalyst, wasn't it? Just gasoline on the fire.
Lockdowns everywhere, jobs just vanishing overnight for millions.
And not just sex workers, right? Artists, musicians, trainers, freelancers, service industry folks, income just gone.
So OnlyFans almost instantly became this lifeline, a digital safety net for so many people just desperate to make ends meet.
The numbers were crazy. Like March 2020 alone, OnlyFans got 3.5 million new signups.
And 60,000 new creators in that 1 month.
60,000. And for most of them, it wasn't about empowerment or some lifestyle choice.
No, it was survival. Pure and simple. A hustle born out of sheer necessity. Paying rent, buying groceries, just staying afloat.
Yeah, and that raw survival instinct, it pushed boundaries so fast, didn't it? Like, society adapted incredibly quickly.
Who would have thought a couple years prior you'd have huge celebrities like Cardi B, Michael B. Jordan.
Chris Brown, DJ Khaled, Beyonce referencing these platforms, or even joining.
Right, and it wasn't just explicit stuff anymore. Fitness trainers, cooks, musicians, tarot readers. It just exploded.
It's absolutely wild how fast we normalize new economic models, especially when it's driven by that basic need for income and connection.
It really shows how adaptable our economies are and how necessity just reshapes what we think is acceptable. The speed of adoption wasn't just tech convenience.
It was deep human need. Connection, community, and yeah, making money. Even if it blurred lines that used to seem really clear.
Definitely. Which brings us to a really specific, often kind of misunderstood angle we wanted to explore.
Right.
The solo male hustle.
Right, because the whole audience dynamic for guys doing this solo, performing for the camera, it's a totally different world than the female creator experience we hear more about.
It is absolutely a distinct landscape, and from everything our sources show and just general understanding in the space, the primary paying audience for solo male content, it's overwhelmingly gay men.
Okay, so economically speaking, that's just where the money is.
Pretty much. That's not saying other audiences don't exist at all, but the economic gravity, the volume of spending, pulls strongly in that direction for solo male creators.
So if you're a guy, maybe a straight guy, thinking about this, you got to go in knowing who's likely paying the bills, right?
So
it's a business decision.
Precisely. You don't have to be gay, that's personal identity, but from a business angle, you need to be comfortable performing for gay men. Being seen as desirable by gay men. That's the main market.
Which is where that term gay for pay comes in, I guess.
Exactly. Heterosexual actors or workers performing as homosexual for money. Sources even mention some gay porn producers specifically marketing actors as straight.
Playing on that allure of the unattainable thing.
Yeah, adds another layer to the performance.
And navigating those spaces as a straight creator, or even just someone whose identity gets assumed. That must bring up issues, right? Like accusations of gay baiting.
For sure. It's a real sensitivity. Gay baiting implying an identity or attraction you don't actually hold just for cash. It's a common accusation, and it can cause serious backlash.
From the gay community or just fans who feel like authenticity is being exploited?
Both, yeah. It's a really delicate line. You need self-awareness, careful presentation, and genuine respect for the audience. Authenticity, even performed authenticity, matters.
So, if you're a guy trying to make a living just from a female audience, is that basically impossible or just really, really hard?
Sources say it's a massive uphill battle, trying to make significant, livable income solely from women.
So female subs exist, but the volume, the spending, it's just different.
It's very different compared to the gay male audience, yeah.
Yeah.
The market dynamics, revenue, subscriber numbers, they just point elsewhere for reliable earnings. Not impossible, maybe, but way steeper, way narrower.
That's fascinating, just raw market forces dictating so much. Makes you think about the emotional side, too, though. Like performing for an audience that might be making assumptions about your identity, your desires, when for you, maybe it's just transactional. That's intense emotional labor.
It absolutely is. It blurs those lines constantly. Authentic self, private identity versus this curated performance for a paying audience. That self-monitoring alone must be exhausting.
Yeah. Total dictates the whole strategy. Which, speaking of strategy, this brings us to that huge myth, right? The misconception.
Yeah. The big one.
Yeah.
That you just, like, post a dick pic and the cash rolls in, easy money.
Exactly. So many people still think it's just perform an act, send a pic, boom, you're rich. Man, it is so much deeper.
Way deeper.
This isn't a casual side thing. It takes real strategy. It's a craft. You need a proper business mindset. Treat it like a demanding job.
Completely. The advice from the really successful creators.
Yeah.
One's actually making a living. It's often, think about the thumbnail and title first.
Before you even shoot anything, that feels backwards.
It does, but think about it. How do you grab someone scrolling through endless feeds? That package, that hook, the visual, the title? It's crucial in the attention economy. Got to get that click first.
Okay, makes sense for discoverability. Get the eyeballs first. And quality must matter, but maybe not like Hollywood production quality. You don't need a crazy camera.
Definitely not. Sources say a good smartphone, like an iPhone 8 or newer, Samsung S9 Plus, that's more than okay for top earners.
Seriously. So what is more important then?
Audio quality, often way more important than crystal clear video, especially starting out.
Wait, audio? Really? Why? For explicit stuff, I thought it was all visual.
Because bad audio is instantly noticeable. It's incredibly off-putting. Fuzzy, echoey wind noise. It breaks the immersion instantly.
Ah, okay. Kills the fantasy. Makes it feel unprofessional.
Exactly. You can tolerate slightly grainy video, but bad sound, it pulls you right out. So clear sound is key, whether that's just using the phone mic well, getting a cheap lav mic.
Or cleaning it up in post.
Yeah, makes a huge difference. And then obviously lighting. Lighting changes everything.
Okay, lighting makes sense. Ring lights are everywhere now, not just for this.
Ring lights are clutch, yeah. For that flattering look, highlighting physique, smooth skin, creating shadows, but also RGB LEDs, the colored ones.
Right, for mood, ambiance.
Exactly. It's not just illumination, it's setting a scene, turning a regular room into something deliberate, stylized. It's all presentation, digital staging.
So, beyond the tech side, are there specific types of content, like niches that are big money makers? I keep hearing about nut videos. Is that actually a thing?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a significant category. Big for earnings.
Yeah.
Those are clips focused specifically on, well, ejaculation.
Yeah.
Apparently huge sellers. Especially for custom requests, where viewers want a specific scenario or focus.
Huh. Why that specific moment? What's the appeal? Seems kind of fleeting.
It's complex. Part of it is instant gratification, sure, a clear conclusion. But there's also that psychological thing, sometimes called the femme gaze focus, but it's broader.
Okay.
The idea that the viewer, maybe female, maybe submissive, enjoys seeing the performer kind of lose control in that moment, reaching climax for them.
So it becomes emotional, like the viewer feels they caused it. Power dynamic stuff.
Exactly. Part of the fantasy being sold.
Yeah.
Then you have things like JOI jerk-off instruction.
Where the creator guides the viewer.
Yeah. Or POV, point of view shots, to make the viewer feel like they're right there experiencing it directly. All about immersion, direction, personalization.
Wow. The level of performance technique needed for all this, it sounds incredibly intense, like method acting, but for digital intimacy.
It is performance. It's absolutely acting, requires huge discipline. You're actively performing for the camera, using the light, the sound, managing your body.
Creators talk about mimicking sounds, like moans, breathing.
Heavy breathing, yeah. Even apparently the specific sound of impact for realism. It's about creating a totally convincing illusion.
Wow. Okay, the detail there is kind of nuts. That's deep realism.
It absolutely is. Angles are vital too. Close up for intimacy, wider shot for the whole body, the effort.
And eye contact, you mentioned.
Crucial for perceived intimacy. Direct eye contact with the lens, making the viewer feel seen.
Like you're connecting right with them.
Exactly. I've heard it called eye-ing the camera. It's that intense, direct connection, plus all the prep work.
Like edging, staying hydrated.
Yeah, edging for a bigger finish visually, hydration for skin on camera. It is absolutely a craft. Meticulous work. It's athleticism, performance art, business strategy, all rolled into one.
It really sounds like becoming this digital performance artist, a highly skilled seducer through the screen, optimizing every single detail.
Totally. Crafting a precise, marketable persona. A digital sex symbol requires what some call erotic control, performing arousal on demand. It's sex work blended with brand building, social media management, performance art.
Which flows right into that whole performance of intimacy, right? Because it's clearly not just the explicit content being sold.
No, not at all.
There's that huge emotional piece selling a feeling, a connection, a fantasy.
Massively. And this might be the deepest, most complex layer. Platforms like OnlyFans, fundamentally, they sell perceived intimacy.
So subscribers aren't just paying for pics and vids.
No. Often, they're paying for the illusion of access, feeling wanted, seen, heard, genuinely talked to by the creator. Cultivating that bond, even if it's one-sided and transactional.
Kind of like the girlfriend experience, GFE from traditional sex work, but it adapted for online, and maybe for male creators.
Exactly. Creating that illusion of a personal relationship. And the emotional labor involved, it's immense.
Performing closeness.
Yeah. Creators talk about pretending to care, remembering details about subs, birthdays, anecdotes, being super responsive in DMs, engaging in long, draining chats, even when totally exhausted or burnt out.
That sounds rough.
It taps right into those parasocial relationships, that one-sided fan connection. But here, there's a direct, personal, monetary transaction tied to keeping that feeling alive. It's a constant, demanding performance of emotional connection.
And that constant need to be available, to be on 2-4-7, always engaging, always producing. That sounds like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Brutal, mentally.
Oh, it is brutal. Sources confirm the huge psychological toll. The platforms reward constant presence, constant output. The algorithms demand activity.
So consistency becomes compulsion.
Often, yeah. Creators describe feeling trapped, having to check DMs constantly, always produce, always be available. This crushing fear of falling off the algorithm, losing visibility, becoming irrelevant if you take even a short break.
The demand is just relentless.
So you're fighting creative burnout and the platform's demand for your constant attention, your constant presence.
Sounds like a prison, even if it pays well for some.
Exactly. And that intense visibility, combined with creating such intense performed intimacy, it has a really dark, dangerous side too, often hidden.
Yeah, I was thinking, stalking, harassment must be huge concerns. When someone feels that personal connection.
It's terrifyingly common. Sources document fans crossing serious boundaries, showing up at homes, workplaces, sending threats, doxing personal info.
Publishing private details online.
Yeah, even posting photos of creators' actual houses. And the platform support when that online fantasy turns into a real-world threat, often minimal. Creators feel incredibly vulnerable.
No real safety nets.
Very few.
Honestly, this part makes me really anxious, and here's why. The idea that once it's out there forever.
Right. Pirated, reposted everywhere, screenshotted, shared without consent.
That digital permanence. It's heavy. The danger of your past haunting your future is so real. It must create this constant background anxiety. Even if you quit, the content doesn't just vanish.
No, it absolutely doesn't.
Yeah.
That's a key, often tragic reality. Creators talk about seeing stuff they made years ago, even decades ago, still circulating, still making money for thieves, even when they haven't logged in for ages.
And trying to go back to a normal life after that kind of visibility in that context must be incredibly hard.
Maybe impossible to fully shed it, reclaim privacy, anonymity. The digital footprint is just indelible.
And then there's the societal stigma that just doesn't go away. That story about Riley Reid.
Yeah, the adult film actress.
Top earner, like $14 million net worth after 10 plus years. But she said the industry ruined her life, family estrangement, loneliness.
It's a stark reminder. Financial success isn't everything. Some costs are just too high.
That's the long-term consequence, isn't it? The price so many grapple with. Societal judgment making it hard to get vanilla jobs later.
Challenges in relationships. And that deep worry about future kids finding the content.
It's this incredibly complex knot, right? Business savvy, tech skills, artistry, performance, huge emotional labor, audience management, constant risk assessment.
All while knowing your digital past can have permanent, devastating effects on your personal life long after you stop.
You know, I've felt that pressure, even if I wish I hadn't. That intense need to just make money, it can make you consider things you never thought you would.
Especially when options feel limited.
Exactly. It makes you realize how many people are pushed into these spaces by circumstance, by economic need, not just choice. And that's why we have to stand up for their humanity, their dignity.
Absolutely. While still acknowledging the harsh realities, the brutal challenges, they deserve respect, not judgment.
Which brings us to another really crucial point, the reality of the earnings. Because that lavish lifestyle fantasy, mostly a myth for the average person, a dangerous one.
So dangerous. You see the clips, the cash, the designer stuff, claims of making millions.
Creates this illusion of instant wealth, easy success. But the reality, the market is severely oversaturated, flooded with newcomers daily.
Including celebrities jumping in, making it even harder for everyone else to get noticed.
And the average OnlyFans user, sources say, makes maybe $50 to $180 a month.
That's like $2,000 a year max. Barely livable anywhere.
It's definitely not straightforward, not easy money. Success takes serious skills, marketing, business, social media management, just to stand out at all.
It is absolutely not a quick path to wealth for most people.
Which is exactly why you hear those passionate arguments for decriminalizing sex work, right?
Yes, advocates argue very compellingly that decrim would offer legitimacy, support, make independent workers eligible for things like unemployment, workers' comp.
Safety nets everyone else gets. Recognizing it as real labor, with real needs, real risks, real rights.
And that ties into this broader trend, doesn't it? This pervasive sexualization that goes way beyond explicitly adult platforms.
Yeah, if we shift focus just a bit, look at platforms like Twitch.tv, the gaming streaming site.
Seemingly non-adult.
But there's huge concern now about sexualized content there. And the impact, especially on young people, the line keeps getting pushed.
It really does. And that term, self-sexualization, comes up a lot in that context.
Right. What does that mean exactly on a platform like Twitch?
It's defined as individuals willingly, consciously sexualizing themselves through clothes, poses, language, to seem appealing for social appraisal likes, follows, or money subs, tips.
So leveraging appearance, desirability for gain, even if the content isn't porn.
Exactly. And one study found women self-sexualize significantly more and more intensely than men on Twitch, which flags a huge gender disparity right away.
That's stark and really concerning. What does that look like behaviorally on stream, beyond just revealing attire?
The study got specific. Men mostly focus on speech, gaming, confidence, conversation. Rarely show their bodies just for seduction.
Okay, and women?
Markedly different. A big majority, 71.4%, wore revealing attire, low necklines to bikinis. 76.2% used a full-body camera focus, implying deliberate display.
Not just head and shoulders.
Right. Over half, 51.6%, did things evoking sexual acts. Two-thirds, 67.4%, used seductive facial expressions, especially mouths. The study even coined porn chic. Stylized poses, angles, expressions, not explicit porn, but clearly mimicking adult content aesthetics to monetize sexual appeal.
Wow. That is such an exhausting tightrope women have to walk online. Try to build an audience, a career, but get instantly judged.
Harassed for how you look, dress.
Yeah.
Whether you're a real gamer or just using your body.
It feels like this pervasive double standard that forces women into this specific, often exploitative box just to get ahead.
It's a profound double standard. And the consequences. For women, for society, they're huge. Dehumanization, legitimizing violence, negative mental health impacts, like anxiety, depression, body dissatisfaction.
Especially for young viewers, girl.
Yeah. It shapes gender attitudes, puts insane value on appearance over skills, and leads directly to more sexual harassment and discrimination, online and off.
And the platforms themselves, they don't always help, right? Twitch's guidelines are seen as, what, vague, contradictory?
Subjective, vague, contradictory, effectively reinforcing discriminatory attitudes towards women, LGBTQ plus folks, through inconsistent enforcement, implicit bias.
And you see it in the numbers. 35% of streamers are women, but only 8% of top 100 Spanish-speaking streamers. 5.34% of the total audience. That's wild.
It perpetuates this hostile, male-dominated environment. Hate speech, constant questioning of women's competence, not true gamers, relentless sexual comments.
Which leads to that empowerment paradox you mentioned.
Exactly. Two sides. Some argue self-sexualization empowers women, economic agency, autonomy, self-expression. Others say it's fundamentally dehumanizing, driven by a patriarchal ideology, the male gaze.
No easy answers there.
None at all. It's a really complex ethical and social tangle. How much is DPU agency versus just playing into objectification to gain visibility or money?
And the future risks. What happens to this content long term?
They're profound. Content used by third parties, pirated endlessly, minimal long-term gain for the creator while others profit. And worse, the rise in sexual exploitation, human trafficking linked to live streams.
Where vulnerable people get coerced or groomed.
Yeah. And then you see Twitch itself updating policies like that topless meta thing in December 2023.
Allowing it if labeled.
Yeah. Which, in a way, just further normalizes the sexualization of online performance. It's constantly shifting.
Man, this whole conversation, it really feels like trying to untangle this incredibly complex knot. Technology, money, and these really deep, basic human desires for connection, attention, belonging.
Where does it all leave us as these lines just keep blurring faster and faster?
It feels like a major turning point.
Yeah.
And thinking about where it's headed technologically, it's only getting weirder, right?
Oh, yeah. The horizon is something else.
We're already seeing VR camming, AI clone streamers that look totally real.
Deep fake tech getting scarily good.
And AI companions, like that infatuated AI, text-based, simulates sending nudes, private chats, encrypted.
The lines between real and artificial, human and code,
Mm.
they're just becoming impossibly blurry.
Totally. That blurring, public-private, authentic, performed work self, it's just accelerating with all this new tech.
Which brings us to the big question, right? The one to really chew on.
Lay it on us.
Okay. So when visibility itself becomes the main currency, and our connections, even the ones that feel super intimate, are increasingly filtered through, monetized by, even synthesized by these platforms, what does that actually do to us long term? How does it fundamentally change how we think about work, about our own identity, for what genuine, unmediated human connection even looks like anymore in a world just saturated with digital simulations?
Yeah. What happens when those lines, public, private, authentic, perform, get so blurry you can't even see them anymore? Because the economic pressure, the need for attention, the algorithms, they just demand it. Pushes people further and further. Definitely something to sit with.
For sure. No easy answers there at all.
This episode is powered by NeonKore Media for stories they said were too real to tell.